So moving on to the front wheel today, and I just thought I'd take a little video of it before I pull all the spokes out all together of the condition that it was in. There you go. So this is the one off the blue bike. I'm gonna build these wheels from using these centers, and I'm gonna put them on the new bike, the red bike, and then eventually I'll rebuild the wheels for the blue one. The bearings are quite bad in this hub, so I'm going to have to change the bearings, which means I'm going to have to wait a week or so to get them. But I'll rebuild the wheel anyway while I'm waiting. Lacing this other wheel today, and I'll just show you a little bit about it. You always do all the outers, or sorry, the inners first, inner spokes, which means the spokes coming behind the rim, and you find your tube hole. See? Tube hole. There. And you start the one right beside it, to the right. And you count over 4 holes. This is for a 36 spoke wheel. You count over 4 holes. And in the 4th one, you set your spoke. So these outer ones are put every second hole. You put them into every second hole. Whole way around. And angle them off this way a bit. And you'll see the corresponding hole that it will be going into, because you'll know by the shape of where it's facing. And then the other ones, if you can look on the bottom, are just offset from the top ones that you just put in. So you put them in straight away down on the right of them. So then you get the spokes on the other side, and you start putting them in to the corresponding places. Okay, so I made a bit of a boo-boo the first time around, and I realised that I'd put in the spokes wrong on this side, and I had these ones in the wheel, and realised that you can't get these in. You have to have them in first before you start building the wheel on the bottom half of it. So that's now what I'm going to do. I had them in wrong. They should have been coming up the way and like that, instead of down the way and like that, where they become an outer. So I'm going to go now, and I'm going to put them in right, and then I'll be back in a second when I have the rim on the table here in the center of the hub. Okay, so the idea is to have them facing this way on the top and facing the opposite to that on the bottom. Now you find your hole for your tube, which is here, and you lift the nearest one, and the first hole beside that, you put it into it. So you put your nipple on it just to keep it in place, which I'm going to do now. Then you count over 4 from that, so that's not including this, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the next one will go in there. You'll see it corresponds a little bit. Get your nipple, put it on. Now don't screw it in too much, just enough. Then another 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This should be the next one. So you put that in there. That's that one. And so on until you have the whole thing done, but I'll just do this very quickly so you can see, hopefully, what I'm at. I'm no expert on this. This is only my second time doing this. Done the last wheel, as you saw, and I think I've done an okay job. Now you can go wrong, and you probably will at first, but I went wrong 1 or 2 times. Like, what else can you do? Just plow on, and I've had to redo them a couple of times. 4. By the way, if you're going to have a bad spoke or something, make sure that it's not going to be used as an inner spoke, because once you have this wheel built, there's no way you'll ever get an inner spoke out without undoing the whole wheel. So just to let you know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one is here. 4. See? You've here 1, 2, 3, and then the next one 4. You have to excuse the racket there, our neighbours are out in the backyard there. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the next one goes here. That'll be this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. There. Nipple on. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one will go, if I can get the bottom ones out of the way, it'll go here. It can start to get bloody awkward to do this. Okay, so that's that side done. And basically, where you see these ones, they need to correspond, cross over. So I think that's that one. In the middle. Hopefully we're getting this right now. Seems to be. You'll see it cross in the middle, like that. So. It can start to get a little awkward. Just give me a second. It's starting to pull a bit now, so it is. So that's that. Next one, which is here. Oops. Now this is an older rim, this is not a brand new rim, it's just a better rim that I found on eBay or some of them things, but it's good enough to do. It's not going on to stay on the red bike, it's going on the blue bike, but it will be on the red one for a while until I get the money to build a proper nice new set of wheels for it. So just temporarily they're going to be on the red one. Next, we have this one. It needs to go here. And I hope I'm right about that. Pretty sure I am. Again, here. You can flip this over and just count over 4 and 4 again, but it works out relatively simple to just go for the middle one. lift the right one up, see the cross. Hold on, can't really see it there. You'll see it cross here, it's like a, see? And the middle one is usually the one that it is. Right, so that's it all kind of halfways there. Halfways. I'm going to screw a few of these in a bit now and snug it in a wee bit more and see how we get on. Well, as you'll see, I've got it all laced up properly now. Sorry I didn't video at all for those of you who actually wanted to know, but I do have another set of wheels to do eventually, and I will be doing a video on them later on, so for anyone that wants to know. But for now, this is as far as I'm on, and now I have to straighten this wheel and through it, and hopefully that'll be it. So that'll be the next section of the video here. Okay, so this is the setup that I have. I got one of your usual garden tables and an old set of forks which I had. Well, it's a spare set I have for the red bike. And I've set up a pencil, you can see. And I just snugged in everything by hand, just twisted them in till they hit the rim. There's still an odd one that's loosish. But initially, I'll show you now in a second, when I've snugged all these in properly. Is there any that's loose? So initially you start with the inner ones, which just centralizes the hub in the rim apparently. So I think I've more or less turned all these enough. Yeah, that one's a bit loose. So we'll snug that in a bit more till it hits the rim. Just till it hits the rim. Don't force it to pull anything. Just enough to hit the rim, so that everything's uniform and even as you can get it. I think I have everything now almost. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Right, so initially this is what we have. So I'll just let you see the pencil, I'll let you see the rim, and you'll see that that's not too bad. It's really not too bad. There is a bit in it. I'm moving the pencil because the rim's hitting the pencil. So you can see that it's going away a little bit, but it's really not that bad as it is. Now, the idea is, when I've got it that straight, is to try and tighten it in without changing it and making it worse. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the hole for the tube again. I'm going to start going round this way. I'm going to give each and every single spoke 2 turns with the wrench. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'll be back with you in a second. Okay, so I've adjusted all the inner ones first. So you go to the valve hole and you work your way around, tightening only the inner ones, this side and that side. And when you get them snugged in, you give it a spin. You'll see that that's not too bad. It's hard to see it on the video. It's not too bad, and there's very little hop, what they call hop, which is, you'll see that there can be a little bit of up down movement in it too, you see. So you gotta watch for that. I'm seeing a little bit in it, but it's very hard to see it whenever it's not straightened up enough. So I think I'm going to try and straighten it up a bit first by pulling the outer spokes and see how we get on. So I've spent a little bit of time at this now, and I think you'll agree when you see this that it's pretty straight. You need to see the pencil. I'm happy enough with that. I mean, I don't think I can get it much better, to be honest with you. It's as good as I'm ever going to get it, and I'm happy enough. So, and the wheel looks good. Looks really good. I did have a problem with that one defective spoke I tried to replace with one of them ones I wanted to cut, but it didn't work out, so I had to use one of the old spokes off this original rim. But I cleaned it up on the wire brush, and you can see it here, but it's not very noticeable. That's all I could do to get it right. So that's it, guys. That's my second wheel done now, and I have a set of wheels. All I need to do now is probably change the bearings and the tires, and that'll be that. So I'll go for another video. If you like the video, press like, please, and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Thank you. There you go, guys. New set of Honda sh50 wheels, all done, ready to go. Very happy. Just move that wheel. Well, what would I say to you? If you want to try rebuilding a set of wheels, I'd say, yeah, absolutely, it's worth a go. Obviously, I mean, if it had been a Honda S or C50 or C70 or something, I'd have just bought a new set of wheels fully built, because it's just as cheap. But with this bike, the sh50, you don't really have much choice because you can't buy them new, so the only way to do it is to rebuild them. I'm happy I've done it, because now I know how to do it, and I can do it for every bike if I want to. Well, within reason, 36 spokes, because with other ones that are not 36 spokes, it's a different story. You'd have to learn how to do that again. But there you are, guys.